Good evening and a very warm welcome to Between the Headlines broadcasting live from London. We'll be rounding up the week in print and taking a look at a small selection of articles in today's British and continental European newspapers. I'm Jan Fosgaard, and my guests tonight are Reza Najafi, a biomedical engineering manager for a group of private hospitals here in the UK, and A.O. Johnson, the broadcaster. Pendant science museum accused over links to Israel. Protesters claim it is promoting universities that aided recent military assault on Gaza. That was their top story.
People have suffered quite a bit, and I just hope things get better on that side of the
Yes,
world.
but do you think it is the job of scientists to worry about their associations?
Well, the scientists can worry about anything, really. Well, the truth is that the people of Gaza and the West Bank need assistance, and they need it now.
Indeed, indeed. Well, a convoy is at this very moment, of course, trying to enter the Gaza Strip. The Independent on Wednesday. We're at war, of course. This is referring to the attack in Pakistan on the Sri Lankan cricket team, which left 7 people dead and 6 players injured. That was Wednesday. Thursday, Financial Times with a financial or banking story. Barclays questioned over funds at Lehman Brothers, the failed U.S. investment bank liquidator. Is asking Barclays to explain some missing money, $3.3 billion, money earmarked for bonuses and liabilities. Apparently, went missing in the takeover of Lehman by Barclays. Wanting an explanation.
Well, yeah, and it's just a reflection of how difficult it is for the banks at the moment to get money, hold on to money, and actually be able to share it with others. So it's a problem all around. And
yes.
Of course, they're having a lot of bad press lately, especially giving a lot of bonuses to their staff and the directors, and that's not been quite good at the moment.
Yes, I wish they'd share it around a bit more evenly. Let's have a look at the Times. This was a British couple die together in Swiss clinic suicide pact. Deaths coincide with new guidance for doctors. Of course, in this country, in Britain, it's illegal to die by assisted suicide. So I guess that's not the kind of equipment that you supply to private clinics here in the UK, Reza.
Not really. It's been a long discussion about this issue for a long time, and hopefully with these news coming up, we're getting towards that having a new law or new legislation.
Yes.
And I think the equipment nowadays can keep you alive for a very, very long time if you want to. And those patients only suffer. You can keep them alive, but they are not really alive.
Yes. Of course, the other image here, that of Michael Jackson, the king of pop. Apparently he's in debt now, so he's going to be back on the stage. He's announced a series of London gigs.
It would appear as yet again the credit crunch could affect a man like Michael Jackson. Unbelievable.
Indeed.
Unbelievable.
That's right. Jackson's back and won't stop till he gets enough money, that is. A story, of course, here about the bank printing money and cutting interest rates further sign of the economic problems. So that was Friday. Saturday looked like this. MOD has blood on its hands, says SAS chief. This is a story about apparently not supplying UK forces with the right kind of equipment. It's to do with some of the vehicles that were supplied, apparently not safe, not the right kind.
Well, that's unacceptable, really, because Britain is a first world country, a country that should have one of the best armies in the world, and they should equip their soldiers as such, really. So it's not in keeping good practice.
Okay, right. Well, the Sunday Times, when we're looking at a few Sunday papers, of course, we'll just take a quick look at the headline here. A picture of Shakespeare. Is this the real picture of? Is this the real Shakespeare at last? Picture name painted during his lifetime. It doesn't look very different, to my mind, from the other portraits that we've seen of Shakespeare. Quite a few literary stories in the paper today. But let's take a look at the Observer. The 2 killed as terror returns to Northern Ireland. Today's newspaper. Soldiers shot in drive-by attack. 2 army personnel have been shot. I mean, it's been a decade since the violence, since the last violence in the region in Northern Ireland. It's it's a reminder, I suppose, that perhaps the underlying issues have yet to be resolved.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's also a reflection of terrorism back on our streets and back in the UK. So it's a horrible time, and what a shock! After 10 years, we thought it had all gone away, and
Yes.
now to actually see this back in, and it's the intensity in which it happened. These guys posing as pizza drivers or delivering pizzas, and the fashion in which the shooting took place, and the ease by which they actually escaped. Of course, we've got a man out that's actually out at the moment looking for these guys. But I think the IRA, the DUP have actually got to look back into themselves and see what aspects of their groups or splinter groups actually caused this, because clearly they're not interested in peace.
Yes.
Clearly they want to destabilize the entire
So we
area.
don't really know so much about who they were. I mean, there's speculation that they are perhaps the real IRA, a splinter group of the Irish Republican Army, but little is known as yet, I suppose.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all speculations, but what they're saying is more than likely it could be a splinter group of the IRA. Clearly it's saying here that it's Sinn Féin. Jerry Adams has actually condemned it. Ian Paisley have done the same. It could be a faction, it could be a new group, or it could be various dissatisfied factions, and of course clearly the intent here is to destabilize the entire process that's been, Tony Blair and others had worked endlessly to sort out.
Yes.
For it to unravel at this junction would be quite problematic, and it's also sent another message. I mean, clearly Britain has been engaged in wars and with issues elsewhere in the world, Iraq, Afghanistan, and to see this sort of terrorism coming back home, so close to home.
Yes, Reza, of course, Britain has been in your neighbouring country in Iraq. As Ian Paisley mentions here, for the last 10 years, people believe things like this, happened in foreign countries, places like Basra. Basra is a place that the British either occupied or invaded, depending on your perspective here. But perhaps, as Ao said, Britain should have been looking to solve issues closer to home rather than going into foreign countries.
Exactly. Some people believe this can be a kind of new era for UK, like 0707 bombing was. But I'm sure that would pass. I hope that would pass eventually, and let's hope it's not get that far.
Yes. How do you think this story will be reported in Iran? Do you think they'll take any interest in this development?
Well, I'm sure, because they would highlight these kind of subjects in Iran. I'm sure it would be some news.
Yes. Okay. Let's leave Northern Ireland then, and take a look at Africa's story in today's paper. In the Sunday Telegraph, injured Changarai leaves hospital, and Zimbabwe. Of course, we all know that he's been in a car accident. His wife tragically was killed in that car accident. This is the opposition leader now, of course, the Prime Minister of Zimbabwe, and he has also left the country, Ao. He's gone to Botswana. Why has he gone there?
Well, it would appear that the speed at which he's done so is quite worrying. I mean, he hasn't spoken to his party, he hasn't spoken to his members. He's literally come out of the hospital, gone into a plane and literally gone out of the country. But Botswana is actually one of those countries which have been very vocal against Mugabe himself. In fact, recently there were large numbers of MDC supporters who were arrested, and Mugabe accused them of going to Botswana and actually training to actually come and overthrow him. And these individuals are actually in jail waiting at trial at this moment. And it's so funny that he should go back to that particular country. What sort of message is he trying to send? And of course, he himself may be concerned. Maybe his life's at risk. Who knows?